Federation. This is a part of our webinar series on the theme of water in Bengaluru, whose objective is to engage citizens of Bangalore and inspire them towards water conservation. In the first session that happened in July, Catch the Rain, we focused on harvesting. In today's session, we will focus on reduction, using simple and practical solutions towards making ourselves and our city water secure. Before we begin, a quick introduction about the organizing team. Biome Environmental Trust. Biome Environmental Trust looks at solutions to critical resource problems of the present and future. It works on research, public education, and policy advocacy in the areas of water and sanitation, land use and land use planning, and energy. And the media partners, Citizen Matters, we are a civic media platform that looks at critical urban issues, ideas, and solutions for better cities. We dive deep into issues that affect our everyday quality of life, including water, commute, public safety, air quality, governance, education, environment, local economy, and more. Along with my co-anchor, Avinash Krishnamurthy, Director and Project Manager at Biome Environmental Trust, I would like to extend a warm welcome to all the speakers and participants who have joined us today. First of all, I would like to call upon the senior officials of BWSSB who have joined us from Kaveri Bhavan today, who will share with us how water demand is being managed in the city, the applicable rules and regulations, and the role played by the rainwater harvesting theme park in Jayanagar. Also joining the discussion will be fellow citizens sharing their experiences of what they implemented to reduce consumption and how they have benefited from it. We will also hear from the city's plumbers and technology companies working in this space. Before we begin, a few reminders to all our participants today. This webinar is being recorded by the organizers. The webinar will be followed by a brief question and answer session open to participants. Please add your queries in the Q&A box that appears on your screen. Only questions in the Q&A box will be taken up by our panel of BWSSB and Biome representatives. The detailed bios of our speakers will be shared in the chat box for all to read and refer to. It is a humble request for all participants to actively participate and cooperate with us throughout the webinar. So we go to our first segment, which is the water demand management in Bengaluru. It is my pleasure to introduce our first speaker for today, who will give us a brief on how the city's water demand has increased over the years, how it has been managed by BWSSB. Shri Rajiv KN, the Chief Engineer with BWSSB, joined as an assistant engineer in 1998, who will share his experience having worked with BWSSB for over 2 decades in different capacities. He has a great zeal to serve the demanding water needs of Bangaloreans. Sir, over to you.
Namaste and good afternoon to all. So now today I am giving the presentation on water demand management in Bengaluru by BWSSB. So Bengaluru Water Supply Board, which is the organization responsible for providing the water to entire 800 square kilometers. As on today, we are supplying water to an area of 600 square kilometers. it is the map is shown is including core area, CMC area, and 110 villages. For Bangalore, as you are aware, Bangalore water is available at a far distance of 100 kilometers, with the Kaveri river is flowing at 358 meters below the Bangalore level. So we have to pump every day the water to an extent of 100 kilometers with 465 meters elevation. So that's what for Bangalore, the water is a very precious commodity. Drinking water is a very precious commodity as it is coming from faraway distance. Bangalore is not blessed by any rivers nearby. So the water management of Bangalore city is very, very essential topic. So as you are all aware, the Bangalore water is a tributary of Kaveri, that is Shimsha river, wherein we are having a treatment plant there, and at 3 stages at Tataguni, Haroli, Tataguni, TKLE, at 3 stages we are pumping the water. Huge water pumps are pumping 24/7 to supply the water to Bangalore city. Our production cost of water is around 41 rupees per kiloliter. So this is the costliest water we are. And as you are all aware that Bangalore city is a young growing city because of international renovation by our IT sector, bio sector, and educational and health sector is improved a lot. Because of that, a lot of people are coming here. The population projection is also there up to 2051. We will reach almost 2 crores by the 2051. At present, we are serving almost 1.29 crores of population with 1,450 of MLD of water every day. And we are having some shortage. If we want to supply the water to entire Bangalore city, we will have the shortage of 8 TMC. So that we are going to have the project, it will be commissioned by 2023. That is going to bring 775 MLD of water from the Kaveri source. So after that, there will not be any water allocation for Bangalore city from the Kaveri river. So we have to manage the water, what is available in Bangalore city, we have to manage with the available water. That's what it is very essential to manage the water. So in this regard, BWSSB has made our management plans in order to mitigate the water demand, that is urban waste management, that is waterscape management, capture and treat 100% of wastewater and regenerate urban water bodies by 2025. This is the plan we are having, so that if the wastewater is treated and it is started using by our consumers, then definitely the burden on the fresh water will get reduced. So that's what indirect potable reuse water of 200 MLD we are planned by 2025, and also additional wastewater treatment capacities we are going to establish, and we are, as on today, 1560 MLD we are treating. By 2023-24 we will going to achieve 1800 MLD of water. And also wastewater is a very precious commodity. We can generate power also, because BWSSB is 60 to 65% of revenue is for pumping the water and running the sewage treatment plants. We are going for energy recovery projects also, biosolid management also we are going to do. By that, our treatment plants can run effectively, making use of the energy generated out of our biogas. But that is already BWSSB is generating 1 megawatt power by one of its 60 MLD treatment plant located at KNC Valley. Similarly, after capital investment of CWC 4-stage phase 3, we will not having any fresh water. So we have to concentrate on other upgradations also in the distribution network also, because BWSSB has invested on investment right from 1960 onwards. Many of the our distribution lines are of very old in nature, for which the upgrade life has already gone. We have to take up upgradation of these capital investment products and day-to-day basis. So by doing that, we will able to achieve some of the UFW recovery and other things. So we, in this regard, we are having some benchmarks also. But as on today, 2022, we are already treatment plant capacity is 1,575. We would like to achieve total treatment plant by 1,800, and recycled water utilization is just 10% as on today. And we would like to increase that to 15%. Rainwater harvesting. So rainwater harvesting property level. So we are having so it is 1,50,000 properties are already registered for rainwater harvesting, and we would like to increase that number to 2 lakh numbers. So along with that, we have made so many mandatory laws to reduce the burden on our STPs and to mitigate, to insist the consumers to have their own water reuse projects. Any building having more than 2,000 square meter built up area, they should have their own STPs. By doing so, they will have the treatment facility in there, and they will use that water for their recycle and gardening purpose. By doing this, so they will be able to reduce the burden on the fresh water, and it is a sort of a water management at the local level. This is insisted from 2016 onwards. So many of the apartments coming for new connections are already having dual pipe systems, and also they are having STPs at their level. So recycle reuse is already provided by BWSSB. We are already selling the water at 10 rupees per kiloliter if it is through the lorry or tanker, and 15 kilometers if it is borne by the beneficiaries. And tertiary treated water also we are supplying at 15 rupees per kiloliter for the premises to lorry, and 25 rupees per kiloliter through pipelines. And tankers also we are supplying at 360 rupees per 6 lakh liters, 6 kiloliters. Okay. Along with this, BWSSB is already laid the pipeline to many of the industries, that is BIL, Horticulture Department, Raj Bhavan, Vidhan Soudha, High Court, BEL, Railways, Arvind Mills, ITC, IAF. All these are getting our water treated water supply. And in BWSSB laws for NOC, we are collecting the charges from the consumer to use the treated water for the construction purpose. That is also implemented in the year 2018 onwards. So these are all the initiatives we have taken in order to reduce the burden on fresh water and to manage the water with available fresh water available in city. Rainwater harvesting, it is known that 2011 onwards we are implemented, and very recently in September 2021 we once again amended that to saying that for any of the sital area having 10,000 square feet, they should also have dual pipeline system along with rainwater reuse structure in their building. Yeah, so rainwater harvesting, for this we are having training centers, that is Tunturu, and our friend Manjunath sir is going to give the elaborate video of rainwater harvesting issues related of many issues related to many of the new initiatives taken in that aspects. So overall achievements in rainwater as on today, we are having 1,55,000 units are there, and we are expected to complete a total 2 lakh connections by 2023, and by now we are making use of the rainwater in, it is approximate calculation as done for 4 MLD, and it has to be increased to 50 MLD by 2025 after servicing 110 village connections also. So this is the rainwater harvesting area wherein we can saving this much water. Similarly, in order to make the awareness among the people to use the water judiciously, because in terms of apartments wherein the one flat owner is using the water in higher quantity and other is using at a lower level, lower volume, there will be always a dispute. And in order to make use in order to accountable for them for internal purpose, obligation to provide the internal meters also has been gazetted during 2020, and in that any building having 2,400 square feet and having 3 and more houses should have internal meter, and any new buildings also should have coming 1,200 square feet having 3 or more houses should also have this water, and reading of such internal meters shall not be used for billing or any other case disputes with BWSSB. It is just an internal accounting purpose only. Obligation to automatic water level control system is also introduced by BWSSB as per the 43B rule. So every owner having their sump and overhead tank should have automatic water level control system in order to avoid the unnecessary wastage of water due to overflow of the overhead tanks. This has been introduced. This is punishment for this breaching this regulation is first time penalty of 1,000 rupees is there. After continuous violation attracts penalty for ₹100 per day is already there in our Gazette notification, and we are going to have this very strictly, and awareness is also being given to all our staffs at ground level, and it is overflowing information to the consumer will also recorded, and public meetings like Jalaspandana Adalat, we are propagating this, and display in service stations are also there. Because of this, we, as per our survey, almost 50% of the domestic households are already having the rainwater harvesting sensors, and we are pursuing the people to have this at all levels so that to achieve 100% automatic level sensor meter is there. By doing all such initiatives and good practices in our organization, we are manage the water available at our source, and to most important one is to reduce the EFW to an extent of 30% by 2023 and onwards. So thank you very much for hearing me. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajiv sir, for explaining to us about the water demand for a growing city like Namma Bengaluru, the rules and the various initiatives spearheaded by BWSSB to reduce water dependency and efficiently managing it. So we'll go on to our next segment. We have with us, I call upon Mr. V.B. Maheshwarappa, Executive Engineer, Revenue Billing, Information Technology, to share BWSSB's perspective on accounting of water, how the rules and regulations guide measurements. Mr. Maheshwarappa has 23 years of rich experience in the public sector and has been instrumental in GIS development and utility, a computerization project for BWSSB for mapping of various assets of board under AUS aid scheme, responsible for implementing and handling IT activities in the board, and has been appointed as nodal officer for many of the government of Karnataka initiated projects like Sakala, EODB, public grievances, etc. Mr. Maheshwarappa.
Namaskara. Water accounting in BWSSB. Before that, I will explain the present scenario of our water supply. Our present water supply from Kaveri River is 1450 MLD, and present population, including 110 villages, are 12.9 millions. And the area of water supply service and population is 575 square meter, and also 10 millions. And number of household connections is 10.32 lakhs. And total length of water line pipelines is 11,351 kilometers. Similarly, that diameter of the pipe range from 100 to 2,200 mm dia. And the number of GLRs is 66, and capacity is storage capacity is 888 ml, and the number of overhead tanks 51, and booster pumps 62 similarly. And we are providing the free water to the public tap is 7,000 or something. And also we have water tanker lorries is a 68 for supplying the water to the consumer where their scarcity or supply is not available at the time. And availability of water supplies per month is 42,200 ml total. And also per capita per head is 110 liters per day. And the average production of cost of our is 39 rupees per kiloliter. Actually, we are providing the water for kiloliter for selling is 7 rupees. And our total monthly revenue, water revenue is 100 crores. Next, this is the present scenario of our BWSSB. Now, actually, water accounting in BWSSB, how we are accounting in BWSSB? In monthly billing is around 10.3 lakhs consumers in BWSSB. And we are billing and collection activities is totally 43 O&M subdivisions. And also the water connections are 100% metering and under 100% every month we are billed. And we are issue the bills through spot billing device provided by Transparency in the billing of 10 lakh consumers, issuing the bills in time to the consumers. And each meter reader provided with the handheld device with the GPRS technology. Means once you are generate the bill, automatically the data is transferred to our server, then consumer can, and at the end of the bill, the data is uploaded to the through GPRS, either data cable can be downloaded to the server. And also the collection efficiency is close to the 100%, means 99.9% your collections. And the category is, actually in BWSS we have mainly two categories. One is domestic, another one non-domestic. Another one is a partial non-domestic also is there. That is only, so for example, the building is having a partially commercial and partially domestic, then only we called it as a partial non-domestic. And also another one category is industries, because that is depending upon we are providing the tariff. Domestic rate is different from the non-domestic, and also industries having we are giving the bulk supply, and also using the 90 rupees per kiloliter we are providing. Totally in Bangalore city, 83% domestic consumers are there, and non-domestic is 16%, and industries are only 1%. The total we are supplied billed consumption is totally 26,384 out of 42 or 40 something. Now, similarly, how we are collect the amount from the consumers. Now, the mode of payments. See, due to earlier it was not there for online payment 100%, only 10% before that COVID. Now we are completely implemented the online payment payments. So online payments using some debit card or credit card network through our website. So we have a 3 payment gateways there. One is Canara Bank, Paytm, and Axis Bank. Similarly, that also includes Bharat Bill payment system and all UPI. You can pay the Google Pay or Phone Pay, and also all state government consumers are paying through Khajane only. And also consumer can pay through mobile app. Our BWSSB mobile app is there, Paytm mobile app, and Karnataka one mobile app is there. And also other large use consumers are there. Example, use apartments, monthly they are paying more than 1 lakh or 2 lakhs. Those people can you pay through our Bank of Baroda. There is a provision for making the virtual account number also. That is also totally we are received the collection is a 46% through online only. And similarly, Bangalore one center, there are 94 Bangalore one centers. Now we are collecting the 22%, and ECS also very less, that is 1.14, because earlier it was ECS is controlled by RBI. Now is NACH, NACH, that is automatic National Automatic Clearing House, that is only 1%. And we are also collected the cash, check, or DD also through our ATM machines, that is kiosks. That is available. That picture is available in the screen also. And also we are next. Another one is to avoid the wastage or theft or loss of the water using providing the new connection to the new consumers. That is called our newly separate software. That is a module is called as a Jaladhare. This is an online water supply connections, is a fully web-based application. Consumer can apply anywhere they can apply for new connection. Our new connections application provides only 3 services. Consumer can apply for water supply and water supply and sanitary. And also if they want to only water supply connection, that is also provision is there. And also consumer can having a bore well, they don't want water, then apply only for sanitary connection. That is also provisions are made. These applications are through only our website. Consumer can register, or plumber can register through our mobile number. Then we will get the OTP, and then application will be started. And also that application, entire application process is role-based application provided each logins of each roles. And also our applications, OWC application means our new connection applications that are tightly coupled with our Sakala. Sakala means that is we have to give the service in the stipulated time. One is 14 days, another one is 42 days. Within 42 days or 14 days, we will provide the new connection to the consumers. And also these applications also fee and any amounts raised part of the obtaining a service to proposing the online only. The consumer can make the online payment through credit card, debit card, or net banking, or NEFT or RTGS, and UPI only, but no cash or DD or check also. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maheshwarappa, sir. The numbers are staggering. Over 10 lakh connections with 100% billing efficiency is quite a feat indeed. Enabling online payment and registration is a very progressive step. I commend you for doing this. I'm sure there will be queries during the question and answer session on this. Next, we go to the third segment on the theme park. Let's learn, sorry. Now, Mr. Rajiv briefly shared with us about the rainwater harvesting theme park. The theme park has several demonstrations on rainwater harvesting, numerous models that explain the usage and importance of water in all its forms, with a special focus on water conservation. I call upon Mr. B.M. Manjunath, who is the PRO at BWSSB, who will be sharing with us more about this park. Mr. Manjunath. Sir?
Oh, thank you, madam. Rainwater harvesting theme park ನಾವು ಮಾತಾಡಿ ಹೇಳೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಅದನ್ನ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ತುಂಬಾ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಇದನ್ನ 2011 ಇಸ್ವಿ ಮಾರ್ಚ್ 21ನೇ ತಾರೀಕು ನಾವು ಲೋಕಾರ್ಪಣೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು. ಅಂದಿನಿಂದ ಸುಮಾರು ಒಂದು 50,000ದಿಂದ 60,000 ಜನ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಭೇಟಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾದ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಯಾರು ಭೇಟಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೋ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಮಾರು 60% ಜನ ಅದನ್ನ ಮನೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಅಡಾಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಸುಮಾರು 4,000 ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ ಅದು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಫೀಡ್ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ. ಅದು ತುಂಬಾ ಸಂತೋಷ ಇದೆ. ಇವಾಗ ರೈನ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಹಾರ್ವೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಥೀಮ್ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನಿದೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರೋಣ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರು ಥೀಮ್ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ಗೆ ಭೇಟಿ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ರೈನ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಹಾರ್ವೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದೊಂದು ಮೋಟಿವೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ನಾನಾದ್ರೂ ಭಾವಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. ಈಗ ಆ ಥೀಮ್ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ ಯಾವ್ದಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎಂಟ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ನ ತಾವು ಒಂದು 2 ನಿಮಿಷ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಇದೆ, ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ನೋಡಿ.
ಅವನ ಹತ್ರ ಮಾಡಿಸ
ಮಂಜುನಾಥ್ ಸರ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ವಿಡಿಯೋದಲ್ಲಿ.
ಮಂಜುನಾಥ್ ಸರ್, ವಿಡಿಯೋದು ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಮಂಜುನಾಥ್ ಸರ್.
ಹೌದಾ? ಇವಾಗ ಇವಾಗ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸಾರಿ ಪ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿ.
ತಮ್ಮ ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳುತ್ತೆ, ವಿಡಿಯೋದಿಂದ ಬರ್ತಿರೋ ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.
ಇದನ್ನ ಅಲ್ಲಿಡ್ಬೇಕೇನ?
ಇದನ್ನ ಅಲ್ಲಿಡ್ಬೇಕಾ? ನೋಡು, ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅವ್ರು. ಒಂದ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಸರ್, ಅವಿನಾಶ್ ಸರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇವಾಗ ಬರ್ತಿದೀಯಾ?
ಇದಿಡ್ಬೇಕು
ಸರ್, ಇವಾಗ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬಹುಶಃ ತಮ್ಮ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಪ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾರೆ ಆ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಝೂಮಿಗೆ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಆಡಿಯೋ ಝೂಮ್ ಜೊತೆ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಬೇಕು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅದು ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ ತಮ್ಮ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ.
ಈಗ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ ಸರ್? ಇವಾಗ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್
ಸರ್ ಇವಾಗ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಿ. ಮತ್ತೆ ನಿಲ್ತು, ಅವಾಗ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು.
ಸೈಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೇನಾದ್ರೂ ಮಳೆ ನೀರು ಕೊಯ್ಲು ಅಳವಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸುಮಾರು 1 ಲಕ್ಷ ಲೀಟರ್ ನೀರು ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಇತರ ಬಳಕೆಗೆ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಬಳಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ ಆದ್ರೆ ಸುಮಾರು 6 ರಿಂದ 7 ತಿಂಗಳು ನಾವು ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಅವಲಂಬನೆ ಇಲ್ದೇನೆ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಈ ವಿಚಾರವಾಗಿ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಜಲಮಂಡಳಿ ನಾವು ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಡೆಸ್ಕ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು 2 ಕಡೆ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. KSCST ಅದು ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇದೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಜಲಮಂಡಳಿ ಬಹಳ ಪ್ರಮುಖವಾಗಿ 2011ನೇ ಇಸ್ವಿ ಮಾರ್ಚ್ 21ನೇ ತಾರೀಕು ನಾವು ಲೋಕಾರ್ಪಣೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ರೈನ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಸರ್ವೇಶ್ವರ ರೈನ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಹಾರ್ವೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಥೀಮ್ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ ಅನ್ನ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾ 20 ತರದ ವಿಧದ ಮಳೆ ನೀರು ಕೊಯ್ಲಿನ ಅಳವಡಿಕೆಯನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ಇದು ನೋಡಿ, ರೂಫ್ ಇದೆ. ಮೇಲ್ಛಾವಣಿಯಿಂದ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಪೈಪ್ ನ ತಗೊಂಡ್ ಬಂದು ಫಿಲ್ಟರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೀರ್ನ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತಿದ್ವಿ. ಇದು ಭೂಮಿ ಈ ಮೇಲಿರುವಂತ ಮೇಲ್ಮಟ್ಟದ ತೊಟ್ಟಿ. ಇದು ಈ ಫಿಲ್ಟರ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, 2 ಅಡಿ 2 ಅಡಿ 2 ಅಡಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಇರೋದು. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಮರಳು ಜಲ್ಲಿನ ಹಾಕಿ ನೀರ್ನ ಶುದ್ಧಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತೀವಿ. ಈ ವಿಧಾನ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಸ್ಕೂಲು ಈವನ್ ಇದು ಪುರಾತನ ಕಾಲದಿಂದನೂ ಇದನ್ನೇ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಪರಿಶುದ್ಧವಾಗಿ ನೀರನ್ನ ಇದು ಶುದ್ಧಿ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ನೀರಿನ ಗುಣಮಟ್ಟನ ನಾವು ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ್ಲೂ ಸಹ ಇದು ನಮ್ಮ ಏನು ಕುಡಿಯುವ ನೀರಿಗೆ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಇದೆಯೋ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಬಹಳ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ವೇನಲ್ಲಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಖರ್ಚಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಫಿಲ್ಟರ್ನ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾವು ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಇದನ್ನ ನೆಲಮಟ್ಟದ ನಾವು ತೊಟ್ಟಿನೂ ಸಹ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಇದು ಬಹಳ ಸುಲಭವಾದ ವಿಧಾನ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಟ್ಯಾಪು, ಏರಿಯೇಟರ್ ಟ್ಯಾಪು, ಫ್ಲೋ ರಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಂತ 3ನ್ನ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರಲ್ಲ. ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಟ್ಯಾಪೇನೆ. ಇದನ್ನ 1 ನಿಮಿಷ ನಾವೇನಾದ್ರು ಟ್ಯಾಪ್ ನ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿಟ್ರೆ 15 ಲೀಟರ್ ಡಿಸ್ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀರು ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇದು ಏರಿಯೇಟರ್ ಟ್ಯಾಪ್ 9 ಲೀಟರ್, ಇದು 6 ಲೀಟರ್ 1 ನಿಮಿಷಕ್ಕೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಟ್ಯಾಪ್ ನ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ ಟ್ಯಾಪ್ ನಿಂದ ನಾವು ಏರಿಯೇಟರ್ ಟ್ಯಾಪ್ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 1 ನಿಮಿಷಕ್ಕೆ 6 ಲೀಟರ್ ನೀರು ಅಷ್ಟು ನೀರು ಕಡಿಮೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಖರ್ಚಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ 1000 ಲೀಟರ್ ನೀರು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರೋ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಮಾರು 200 ಲೀಟರ್ ನಾವು ನೀರನ್ನ ಕಡಿಮೆನ ಬಳಕೆನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇದರಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಇಷ್ಟೇನೆ, ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಏರಿಯೇಟರ್ ಟ್ಯಾಪ್, ಫ್ಲೋ ರಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ ಟ್ಯಾಪ್ ನ ಹಾಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಇದ್ರದ್ದು ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇರೋದು ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಆಡಿಯೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ಸರಿಗ್ ಬರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಬಟ್ ಅವಿನಾಶ್ ಸರ್ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ? ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ವಾ
ಸರ್? ನೀವು ಪ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತು.
ಸರಿ, ಓಕೆ, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು. ಈಗ ರೈನ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಹಾರ್ವೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಥೀಮ್ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇವನ್ ಅವಿನಾಶ್ ಸರ್ಗಂತೂ ಇನ್ನೂ ತುಂಬಾ ಬಹಳ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಡೇ 1 ಇಂದ ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರು. ನಾನೇನ್ ಹೇಳಕ್ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬನು ರೈನ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಹಾರ್ವೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ನಾವೇನಾದ್ರು ಅಡಾಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇ ಆದ್ರೆ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೂ ನೀರಿನ ಒಂದು ಬವಣೆ ಅಂತ ಬರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳ ನಮ್ಗೆ ನಂಬಿಕೆನೂ ಇದೆ. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಟರ್ ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ವಿಷಯ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು 3 ತರ ಟ್ಯಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಟ್ಯಾಪು, ಏರೇಟರ್ ಟ್ಯಾಪು, ರಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟರ್ ಟ್ಯಾಪು, ಫ್ಲೋ ರಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟರ್ ಟ್ಯಾಪ್ ಅಂತ 3 ಇದೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಟ್ಯಾಪ್ ನಿಂದ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಏರೇಟರ್ ಟ್ಯಾಪ್ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತ ನೀರಿನ ಕನ್ಸಂಪ್ಷನ್ 15 ಲೀಟರ್ಗಿಂತ 9 ಲೀಟರ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ 1 ನಿಮಿಷದಲ್ಲಿ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಿಂದ ನಾವೇನಾದ್ರೂ ಸೇವಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ನೀರನ್ನ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಉಳಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ಟ್ಯಾಪ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸಾಕು, ನಾವು ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಸೇವಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಮೆಸೇಜ್ನ ನಾವು ಇವತ್ತು ಪಾಲಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ನಾವು ವಾಟರ್ ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನಾವು ಸ್ವತಃ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೇಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ನಾನಾದ್ರೂ ಹೇಳಕ್ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಥಿಂಗ್, ರೈನ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಹಾರ್ವೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತೂ ವೆರಿ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ವೇನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ರೈನ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಹಾರ್ವೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಥೀಮ್ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದನ್ನು ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ವಿ. ಒಂದು ನಾವು ಏನು ಆ ಪೈಪಿಂಗ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಫಿಲ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಸ್ಟೋರೇಜ್ ಟ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದನ್ನು ಸಹ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಹಳ ಸುಲಭವಾಗಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎ ರಾಕೆಟ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಸುಲಭವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದೀವಿ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಎಲ್ರು ಇವತ್ತಿಂದನೇ ಒಂದು ನಿರ್ಧಾರ ಮಾಡೋಣ, ಅಳವಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಯಾರು ನಾವು ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಿದ್ವೋ, ನಾವು ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ದೇ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಇವತ್ತಿಂದನೇ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ, ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ರೂ ರೈನ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಹಾರ್ವೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಥೀಮ್ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ಗೆ ನೀವು ಬನ್ನಿ. ನೀವು ಮೋಟಿವೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಅಳವಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರಿಗೆ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ವಿಷಯ ತಿಳಿಸಿ. ನಾವು ಈ ಒಂದು ಜಲಶಕ್ತಿ ಅಭಿಯಾನದಿಂದ ಏನು ಒಂದು ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಸಾರ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ನಾವು ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಸಸ್ಟೈನ್ ಆಗಿರೋಣ, ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನೀರನ್ನ ತಾರಸಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಬೀಳುವಂತ ನೀರನ್ನ ನಾವು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ ಅಂತ ಫೈನಲ್ ವರ್ಡ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನನ್ನ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ರೈನ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಹಾರ್ವೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಳವಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಮಂಜುನಾಥ್ ಸರ್. 60% ಜನರು ನೀರು ಕೊಯ್ಲು ಅಥವಾ ರೈನ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಹಾರ್ವೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಳವಡಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಸಂತೋಷ ಆಯ್ತು. ಯು ಆರ್ ರೈಟ್ ಸರ್. ರೈನ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಹಾರ್ವೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಕೀ ಟು managing our water demands, whether it's at home or in our city. Thank you for explaining to us about the conservation methods, and the visit to the park seems a very exciting prospect. I think all of us should make use of it. Next, the officials have spoken. Let's see how organizations are managing their demands and contributing towards water conservation. I call upon Mr. Prasanna K. Vainatheya, Vice President and Governing Council of Bangalore Apartment Federation. Prasanna.
Thank you very much, Sandhya. Can I share my other desktop? This one. So I'm going to send a message here, a chat message. Will you make me the host? Can I show my slides?
Sure.
I think you're already the panelist. Otherwise, Uma, I'm sure you can.
Mr. Prasanna, you can share your screen. You are already a panelist.
Thanks very much. ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಮಂಜುನಾಥ್ ಅವರೇ, ತಾವು ಬಹಳ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಮುಂಚೆನು. ಸೊ ದ ಆಫ್ಸೆಟ್ ನಾನು ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ತಮಗೆ. ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಬಿನ್ ಆಫ್ ಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್. ನಾವು ಫ್ರಮ್ Bangalore apartment, good afternoon everybody. From Bangalore Apartment Federation, one of our major focus has been water. In fact, we got together because of water. We grew united, we grew concerned because of the water situation. ಅವಾಗ of course it was STP. ಆದರೂ BWSSB ನವರು ಅವಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು because of your our situation, water situation in the country, in the state, in Bangalore especially, we have to have STPs ಅಂತ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಯಿತು and reuse dual piping ಅಂತ. So my thing ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ what has been given is for me to briefly explain. I got 5 minutes only. Briefly explain what as a federation, Bangalore Apartments Federation, how we are going about contributing to water situation, saving water and other things. Let me go to my slides and try to show you. This is all not for this current video, but we explain to our people, our members, the situation currently in Bangalore. Okay, so now a BAF role for water management is facilitate all aspects of our theme: reduce, reuse, and replenish water. Replenish andre ground water. Hage replenish ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, borewell water na ಮಾಡಬಹುದಾ, ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಆ ತರ. Where are we as apartment dwellers now in terms of water management? Most of our member complexes have successfully installed aerators. Almost everyone have aerators installed in their houses. So that's been a great savings. And most of our member complexes, we have about, as you know, a large number of membership base. Most of them have also done rainwater harvesting, but what's happened is most of them have gotten it quite well, but there are still a lot of fine tuning needs to be done. That is being done right now as we speak. The other one is we are saving. We are talking about water meters. It's very important to have water meters, and we have sufficient. There are I noticed that there are other speakers who are going to speak specifically on water meters. So they are going to tell you about the various benefits. But we ourselves, we have from our members, we have collected data, and minimal savings have been 30 to 40 and even more percentage. Aerators, some have also said they have been able to show a difference reduction of about 30%. So these are some of the measures that we are promoting. We are helping our membership base achieve. Another thing is using treated water. So this has been a focus. Many of our members have STPs, and many of them were not probably aware of various other ways that it could be further better treated and reused. So they're all now doing it. Everyone's very serious about it. All those who have STPs have absolutely committed to fine tune their processes and make sure that the water is treated perfectly. Now, other measures undertaken by apartment residents are participating in rejuvenation of neighborhood lake water bodies. Reuse of grey water. Enhancing the efficiency of installed STPs. This is happening within our membership base. Another major important thing is we have self-help groups in all subjects: water, STPs, electricity, electric vehicles, you name it. All aspects of apartment complex subjects we have specialized groups. So in these specialized groups, we have members from each cluster. We have cluster all around Bangalore, clusters. Each cluster represents 30, 40, 45 apartment complexes. And from each of these clusters, the champions of electricity related matters, champions of water related matters will be members of water group. So we exchange a lot of information in all aspects of water. I'm going to show that briefly and quickly. So this is what I said. We have 1,045 member apartment complexes as our members, and it's growing by the week. And they're all being represented by clusters. We have Whitefield clusters, we have a JP Nagar cluster. So we have several clusters covering all parts of Bangalore, and they get the information, and this is passed on to the members of that clusters. So some examples of such discussions in water related are how to treat and use rainwater. This has been a very, very important subject. So there's a lot of information is being exchanged. There are some who have done it excellently, some who know a lot about filtration, about doing the groundwater recharge, and how to reuse that water, and whether how to go about getting the laboratory. Any question is answered within this group. So we have several groups, and we have focus group for water, and the members are there are members from all the apartment complex representatives, that is from clusters, and those leaders get all the information, and this is being passed on to those who want from the other apartment complexes. So generally we discuss about various aspects of rainwater, how to utilize it. So and then we also discuss, there are, for examples, again I'm going about example, gardening, when to water the garden, whether it's morning, afternoon, day, how much, and things like that are discussed. Every drop of water needs to be saved, and hence we talk about even gardening. You got to water it late in the evening or very early in the morning, and things like that. And how do you do the car wash, waterproofing your storage tanks? There may be leakages, and then there may be contamination. And what happens to the pumps, inefficient pumps and filters, and how to clean it? Any question? I'm just giving an example, showing you the examples of subjects. There are so many other subjects that are being discussed in this group. I'm just giving you an example here. And then water treatment plants, whether it's to do with water treatment plants or whether to do with bore well, how to replenish and maintain the bore well. And then we also talk, and then another major concern is the water tanker, and the challenges in case there is substitute. So what can we do? We have to be dependent on water tankers, but is there a way that we can reduce this dependency? Major question. And also for the future, how best we can be self-sufficient by doing everything: rainwater harvesting, replenishing the ground water, replenishing the borewell water in a safe way. So that's scientific way. So all those things are being passed on to our members. So as a big group, we are making sure that we pass on the knowledge, and this knowledge is also kept and stored and shared with our member complexes within Bangalore. Optimal, continuing the role of our BAF, optimal utilization of water, recharging both ground, I spoke about it, reuse of gray as well as STP water. Gray water is a subject that is being nowadays we have people have started thinking about it a little more seriously and say that, hey, can we do it? If so, what are the things involved? Feasibility and technical and various things, and we facilitate those discussions and information. No, we also have presentations and workshops. Of course, this past 1.5 to 2 years, things have come to a bit of this thing, slowed down a lot. But we did, and we will have continue to have knowledge experts, called knowledge, people with specific expertise for our workshops, and then let them present And then we call on people who have done it, whether it's a water meter or aerators or it's rainwater harvesting or fine-tuning the STP or whatever. We call them and they give a presentation for the rest of the members. So information is passed on. And then we also talk about within our groups about the various vendors and their offerings. Okay, these are the challenges faced by our apartment complexes. I don't have to go through that now. Getting Kaveri was not getting enough. Looks like I've come to the end of these slides. But however, we do have a lot of other subjects that we discussed about water, how we want our apartment dwellers, people living in our apartments to know a lot more about, be conscious about where we are in terms of water situation. And the concern will definitely drive everybody into being careful with utilization of water. And when people are aware of the situation, they will also support the managing committee to take decisions, whether it is to install water meters or aerators or spend some money on having more pits for rainwater harvesting and filtration systems. So it has to be supported by people. So in order to do that, we have several sessions, several ways, and we hope to make sure that every bit of water that the apartment complexes get, it is used very, very efficiently, and no wastages. A question of tanks overflowing and all that doesn't exist at all. Everybody is so very careful. We have all kind of control systems. Plus, there is staff in apartment complexes. The advantage is there is staff to take care of these things. When it's raining, there is staff to run and bypass the first 5 minutes of water flow. So we are in a way apartments are able to do things very, very efficiently. I think my time is up. I can answer any questions later on.
Yeah, thank you,
Thanks,
Prasanna. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Prasanna, for sharing BAF members how they are managing their water efficiently and focusing on all the aspects of water harvesting, conservation, and reuse. We go on to our next segment, water demand management best practices. We have Rakshita, Project Officer, Biome, who started her journey with Biome in 2020, documenting Tumkuru's water and sanitation. She is currently working on the Million Wells for Bengaluru campaign. Who will speak about water demand management and the best practices. She will be talking in Kannada, the summary of which is posted on chat.
Prasanna, can we request you to stop sharing?
Yeah.
ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ತಿಳಿದಿರೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ನಗರ ಕಾವೇರಿ ನೀರಿನ ಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ರಮುಖವಾದಂತಹ ಅವಲಂಬನೆಯನ್ನ ಹೊಂದಿದೆ. ಹಾಗೂ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಂತರ್ಜಲದ ನೀರು, ಬೋರ್ವೆಲ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ನೀರನ್ನ ನಾವು ಪಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಮುಖವಾದಂತಹ ಲಿಮಿಟೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಗಳು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತೊಂದರೆಗಳೇನು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನೋಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ, ಸರಬರಾಜು ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಕಾವೇರಿ ನೀರು ಸಾಕಾಗ್ದಲೇ ಇರುವಂತಹದ್ದು ಒಂದು. ಹಾಗೂ ನಗರದ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಪ್ರದೇಶಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾವೇರಿ ನೀರಿನ ಸರಬರಾಜು ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಗಳಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಲೇಔಟ್ ಗಳಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಒಂಟಿ ಮನೆಗಳಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅವರು ಬೋರ್ವೆಲ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ನೀರನ್ನ ಬಳಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಾಗೂ ವಾಟರ್ ಟ್ಯಾಂಕರ್ ಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವರು ಅವಲಂಬನೆಯನ್ನ ಹೊಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ರೀತಿಯ ತೊಂದರೆಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕಾಣ್ತೀವಿ. ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬೇಸಿಗೆ ಶುರುವಾದ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜನವರಿಲೇ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬೋರ್ವೆಲ್ ನ ನೀರಿನ ಪ್ರಮಾಣ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕುಗ್ಗತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗೂ ಈ ವಾಟರ್ ಟ್ಯಾಂಕರ್ ಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾದಷ್ಟು ಅವಲಂಬನೆಯನ್ನ ಕಾಣ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು. ಸೊ ಇಂತಹ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನೀರನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ನಾವು ನಿವಾರಣೆ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ಸುಸ್ಥಿರವಾಗಿ ಹೇಗೆ ನಿವಾರಣೆ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನೋಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 2 ರೀತಿಯ ಪ್ರಕಾರಗಳಿದೆ. ಒಂದು ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಸೈಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಡಿಮಾಂಡ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ. ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀರಿನ ಪ್ರಮಾಣವನ್ನ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಈಗ ನಾವು ನೀರಿನ ಬೇಡಿಕೆಯ ನಿವಾರಣೆಯ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಗಮನವನ್ನ ಹರಿಸೋಣ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ 2 ರೀತಿಯಾದಂತಹ ನಾವು ಜನ ಮಾಡಬಹುದಾದಂತಹ ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಟಿವ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಮುಖವಾದಂತಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಟರ್ ಮೀಟರಿಂಗ್. ಎರಡನೇದಾಗಿ ನಾವು ವಾಟರ್ ಕನ್ಸರ್ವೇಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀರಿನ ಸಂರಕ್ಷಣೆಯನ್ನ ನಾವು ನೋಡಬಹುದು. ವಾಟರ್ ಮೀಟರ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಪ್ರತಿ ಒಂದು ಮನೆಗಳಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಅಳವಡಿಸಬೇಕು ಎಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನ ಜಲಮಂಡಳಿ ಕಾಯ್ದೆಯನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಈ ವಾಟರ್ ಮೀಟರ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಅಳವಡಿಸೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟು ನೀರನ್ನ ಒಂದು ದಿನದಲ್ಲಿ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಮಗೆ ತಿಳಿದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಒಂದ್ ವೇಳೆ ನಾವು ನೀರನ್ನ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ಬಳಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಅವಾಗ ಕೂತು ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ದು ಈ ತಿಂಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನೀರು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬಳಸಿದ್ವಿ ಅಂತ ಆಲೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಕೂಡ ಇದು ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಟ್ಯಾರಿಫ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗೆ ಒಂದು ಬಿಲ್ಲ 500 ಲೀಟರ್ ಒಂದು ದಿನಕ್ಕೆ ಬಳಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧಾರಣವಾದಂತಹ ಬೆಲೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. 500 ರಿಂದ 1000 ಲೀಟರ್ ಒಂದು ದಿನಕ್ಕೆ ಬಳಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನೀರಿನ ಬೆಲೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗತ್ತೆ. 1000 ರಿಂದ 1500 ಲೀಟರ್ ಒಂದು ದಿನಕ್ಕೆ ಬಳಸಿದ್ರೆ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಬೆಲೆಯನ್ನ ಅಳವಡಿಸೋದು. ಈ ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನೀರಿನ ಬಳಕೆ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕಾಣ್ತೀವಿ. ನಮ್ ಗಮನಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿರೋದೇನಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀರಿನ ಬಳಕೆಯ ಪ್ರಮಾಣ 30% ರಿಂದ 40% ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗಿರೋದನ್ನ ನಾವು ವಾಟರ್ ಮೀಟರ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಅಳವಡಿಸಿದಂತಹ ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ, ಲೇಔಟ್ ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡನೆಯ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಏನು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನೋಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ವಾಟರ್ ಕನ್ಸರ್ವೇಷನ್, ನೀರಿನ ಸಂರಕ್ಷಣೆ. ನಾವ್ ಯಾವ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ರೀತಿ ನಾವು ನೀರನ್ನ ಸಂರಕ್ಷಣೆ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅನ್ನೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಲಿಂಗ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಏರೇಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಲ್ಲಿಗಳಿಗೆ, ನಾವು ಟ್ಯಾಪ್ ಗಳಿಗೆ ಈ ಏರೇಟರ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಲ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ನೀರು ಹರಿಯುವಂತಹ ಪ್ರಮಾಣವನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಂಸ್ಕರಿಸಿದ ತ್ಯಾಜ್ಯ ನೀರನ್ನ ನಾವು ಗಿಡಗಳಿಗೆ ಬಳಸೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಾವು ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾದಷ್ಟು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ನೀರಿನ ಬಳಕೆಯ ಪ್ರಮಾಣವನ್ನ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಕಾರ್ಗಳನ್ನ ತೊಳಿಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಸ್ಪ್ರೇಯರ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಕೂಡ ನೀರಿನ ಬಳಕೆಯ ಪ್ರಮಾಣ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗೂ ದಿನನಿತ್ಯ ನೀರನ್ನ ಸರಬರಾಜು ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಅದ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದನೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ನೀರಿನ ಸಂರಕ್ಷಣೆಯನ್ನ ಕಾಣಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಕಡೆದಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ ನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನಮ್ಮ ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ bengaluru.urbanwaters.in ಅಂತ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀರಿನ ಸಂರಕ್ಷಣೆ ಹಾಗೂ ಸುಸ್ಥಿರ ನಿವಾರಣೆಯ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ರೀತಿಯಾದಂತಹ ಮಾಹಿತಿನ ನೀವು ಪಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಫುಲ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರೀಚಾರ್ಜ್ ವೆಲ್ಸ್ ನ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ ವೆಲ್ ಡಿಗರ್ಸ್ ನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ನ ನೀವು ಪಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದು. ಹೇಗೆ ನೀರನ್ನ ರೈನ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಹಾರ್ವೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ನ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಪಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದು. ಹಾಗೂ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಉತ್ತಮವಾದಂತಹ ನೀರನ್ನ ನಿವಾರಣೆ ಮಾಡಿದಂತಹ ಮನೆಗಳು, ಲೇಔಟ್ಗಳು, ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಸ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿಗಳಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ದಾಖಲಾತಿ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಇದೆಲ್ಲಾ ರೀತಿಯ ನಗರದ ನೀರಿನಿಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂತ ವಿಷಯವನ್ನ ನೀವು ನಮ್ಮ bengaluru.urbanwaters ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಪಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದು. ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
Thanks to Rakshita for showing how interventions and innovations can make a difference to the way we can reduce wastage. When it comes to water, the buck stops with all of us. to show how individuals and communities are taking steps to reduce wastage. We have 3 pioneer residents of Bengaluru who will share their experiences. When it comes to embarking on new initiatives in a community, it becomes imperative to buy in from all the residents. We have Mr. Shamir, a resident of SJR Verity, Kasavanahalli, who will show how an RWA can go about communicating and convincing the residents of the need to reduce water demand. We have Monisha Verma, resident of Astro Rosewood Regency, Kaikondranahalli, whose community has embraced technology to reduce consumption, installed smart metering. While we have heard from officials and associations on how to efficiently manage water demands, how can individuals contribute? Shubha from Biome, a resident of SJR Redwoods Apartments, will share her learnings. Aruna?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Monisha Varma, and I wanted to talk about how smart meters have benefited the apartment I live in. I've prepared a presentation, which I will be sharing with you right now. So I live in Astro Rosewood Regency, which is on Sarjapur Road, and we installed smart meters in the apartment back in February 2020. A bit about the apartment: there are 188 flats, and the residents meet all of their everyday water needs through borewell and tanker water. There are 6 borewells in the apartment, however, only one of them is functioning, and the yield of this borewell is also slowly decreasing. So there were 2 major concerns that needed to be addressed by the apartment. The first one being high water bills. Due to the borewell's yield decreasing every month, the dependency on tanker water kept increasing, which meant that the water bills were very high and needed to be tackled. The second, the total maintenance cost of the apartment, including the water bill, was divided equally among all households. This practice wasn't considered fair by many residents, and they weren't happy with it, as some houses consumed more water and some less, depending upon the number of people living in it and how conscious they were of their water use. Therefore, smart meters were considered for the apartment. First, they measure the water consumption of each household individually, which meant that the residents can become aware of how much they're consuming, which was not the case before smart meters. And this meant that you could introduce volumetric pricing in the apartment, where every flat would be charged for what they've consumed. And as a result, this gives a perfect incentive for the residents to be more conscious and conserve water. The smart meters we bought were from Smarter Homes, and they're called Water-on meters. The apartment spent around 23 lakhs on it, and they were installed in February, and the first reading they gave was in April 2020. A few features of these smart meters: they give you accurate readings from liters to milliliters, and they also measure and monitor the water supply at each inlet in your house in real time and give you data for it as well. Any leaks or abnormal consumption in your household is detected and a notification is sent to you immediately. These smart meters are solar powered and they have a battery of 10 plus years. Along with this comes a smartphone app where all the data collected by the smart meters is given, and you can also control these smart meters. So the water supply to your house can be switched on and off at any given moment using the app. All of this comes as an all-inclusive cost. So the cost of the meters, the installation, the software, smartphone app, and billing services all come in one package. The app has a very easy to use user interface, and it gives you figures for every hour week, day, week, and month, and presents all of this information in an interactive bar chart so you can understand the water usage patterns of your house. It also allows you to set a target of how much water you want to consume that month. Coming to how these smart meters have impacted the water consumption of the apartment. So before the smart meters, the average water consumption of every quarter was around 7,800 kiloliters. And in Q1 of 2020, which was when the smart meters gave their first reading, you can see that it already came down to 6,600 kiloliters. And by Q4, it had come down by a third. So this also meant that the water bill also came down drastically from an average of 7.8 lakhs every quarter before the smart meters to 4.6 lakhs by Q4. The capital spent on the smart meters and the installation was around 23 lakhs for 192 smart meters, including for the 4 common areas in the apartment. And if this were to be divided by all the flats in the apartment, it would come up to 12,200 rupees for each flat. And this capital is expected to be recovered in 2 years. So smart meters are a great way for your apartment to control the water consumption, decrease water bills, and also save water during the water crisis in our city. Thank you.
Hi, this is Shamir, a member of Management Committee at STI Variety, a community of 334 apartments located off Sajapur Road. So I've been living in this society since 2009 when the building was ready for occupation. And from day one, we had external dependency for fresh water. We had very less yield from our borewells. And as we reached full occupancy, our freshwater requirements were like 180 kiloliters per day, which is equivalent to like 30 tankers of 6,000 liters each. So obviously we wanted to reduce our freshwater consumption, and the discussion of water meter implementation started way back in 2012 itself. But at that time, many residents felt that it's not going to reduce water consumption and it's going to be a sheer waste of money. So the water meter implementation was not taken forward during that time. But every year we used to face water shortage, and we implemented several other methods to reduce the consumption, like low flow aerators on the taps. We also did rainwater harvesting to tap the rainwater from the entire terrace. And we did a few bits to increase the water table. But the shortage continued, especially during summer, and water meter implementation became a regular discussion topic. So as more and more residents started supporting this initiative, we started to plan and design for water meter in 2016. We visited few apartments of similar sizes where water meter was implemented, and found that they have done the entire plumbing layout change because the plumbing layout given by builder were not friendly with water meter implementation. And we also found mechanical meters were popular at that time, but there were vendors providing smart IoT meters, and they were more effective in terms of water conservation because they give us the flexibility of real-time monitoring and to control our usage. So we came back with the suggestions to implement smart IoT meters and to redo the entire plumbing. And this was tabled in our SGM, and majority of residents were okay with this. But then there were a lot of questions also, like how do we provide return of investment for this investment? And some people are asking, like, where is water scarcity now, and how will water meters solve the scarcity problem? And there were other questions like how will our plumbing system, which is very fragile, sustain these kind of modifications? And also there were other suggestions like why don't we go for other water conservation methods rather than going for water meter implementation? So we patiently listened to all these questions and drafted a detailed response which addressed the scope of the project, the timelines, various approaches we can take, how to operate the water meter billing and other things. So majority of residents were okay with this, but then there was stiff resistance from many residents still. So in that situation, we never wanted to go ahead with the implementation. Instead, we called for a SGM, and in the SGM, it was decided to go for a subcommittee to drive the water meter forward. So in the subcommittee, only those who oppose the water meter project majorly joined, and those who work for the project till then step back. So this is quite a normal scenario with residents association, because people doesn't want to keep on spending their effort and time unnecessarily. The report of the subcommittee was not in favor of water meters, and they suggested it's not going to reduce the consumption, or if you're even going for implementation, go only for mechanical meters and not smart IoT meters. This report was not very well received by the residents, because we continue to see the push for water meters in the coming months. So subsequently, in one of the SGMs in 2018, this was discussed, and it was approved by majority of residents, and we decided to go ahead with the implementation, which started in 2019, and we completed the project in August 2019 with billing starting from September. We adopted a slab-based billing to promote lesser consumption and charge a higher slab for daily usage, averaging about 600 liters per day. The results of water meter implementation was amazing. As we see, the daily consumption reduced from 180 kiloliters per day to less than 100 kiloliters per day in just 3 months. And this reduction is sustainable even today, because we see our average consumption after 2 years of implementation still stays below 100 kiloliters per day. So this just proves the saying is right again. Something that cannot be measured cannot be controlled. The story of water meter implementation at SJ Variety is a long one, but I'm sure it will help a lot of societies who are planning to implement water meter to go ahead with that without any hesitation, because you can come and see the benefits that we have realized. Thank you.
Hi, I live in an apartment on Sarjapura Road. Water comes here from tankers or borewells. Water is hard, so has to go through a reverse osmosis filter to get drinking water. The reverse osmosis filter, as we all know, rejects 5 to 8 liters of water for every liter of fresh water. It's a really old model. And many of us have been trying things like holding the water in drums, buckets, putting it into a washing machine, swabbing floors. The idea being that the reject water flows down. So here's something I tried out, knowing that the reject water is actually pumped, because there's a small pump that pumps the water out, so it can rise. Here, that water is let into a 100-liter drum that's placed on a shelf. The white pipe you see takes the reject water into the drum. The black pipe is in case the drum fills up, the overflow which goes into the washing machine. But the water itself from the drum is then plumbed to the sink, where we've provided an alternative pipe that brings the water to a tap where it can be used for dishwashing. A question that is often asked is whether this water is good enough for dishwashing. So to know that, we really have to know the TDS of water. TDS is total dissolved salts that can be measured with a TDS meter. Here you see 3 types of water. One is the tap water, the tanker water, which has been filtered through the apartment's water treatment plant, is at 595 TDS, 690 is the reject, and 25 is the drinking water. This really is to highlight that you can certainly use this 690 water, which is actually in worst case even portable, for doing dishes. The entire system to set up cost about 2,500 rupees, out of which 1,200 was for the drum itself. Thank you.
Hope hearing from these individuals will inspire and encourage us all to consciously use water, adopt methods, and influence others. They've heard from the officials, individuals, and organizations on the whys and hows. Now let us hear from the experts who will share some real-life experience. We have Mr. Krishnamurthy, a plumber, who has installed water meters in various apartment complexes, and Mr. Abhilash, from VGOT Utility Solutions about how their work is influencing reduction in water usage and water wastage. Mr. Krishnamurthy will be talking in Kannada. The translation of it will be posted on chat. Aruna?
ನಮ್ಮ ಹೆಸರು ಕೃಷ್ಣಮೂರ್ತಿ. ನಾವು ಮೈಸೂರು ರೋಡ್ BHL ಇರೋದು. ನಾವು 2009 ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸುಮಾರು ಒಂದು 150 ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟು ವಾಟರ್ ಮೀಟರ್ ಕೆಲಸನೇ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಲೇಔಟ್ ಆಗಲಿ, ಮನೆಗಳಾಗಲಿ, ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟು ಈ ಥರ ಎಲ್ಲದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಈ ಥರ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ನೀರಿನ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಮೀಟರ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಕೊತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರು. ಅದು ಟ್ಯಾಂಕರ್ ನೀರಾಗಲಿ, ಕಾವೇರಿ, ಬೋರ್ವೆಲ್ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಇರಲಿ, ಮೀಟರ್ ಹಾಕ್ಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಎಷ್ಟು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಅಂತ ಮನೆ ವೈಸ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೋ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಮೀಟರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಡೈಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು ಎಷ್ಟು ರೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ನೀರು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಅದನ್ನು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಕೆಲವು ಮನೆಯವರು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಕೆಲವು ಮನೆಯವರು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತದನ್ನು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಮೀಟರಿಂಗ್ ಹಾಕ್ಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ 1-2 ತಿಂಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಮತ್ತೆ ರೀಡಿಂಗ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಬಂದೇ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಕೆಲವರು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಕೆಲವರು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದು ಮೀಟರ್ ಮುಂಚೆ ಮೀಟರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಟ್ಯಾಂಕರ್ ವೈಸ್ ಅವ್ರು ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಒಂದು 30-40% ಕಡಿಮೆ ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರ ಕಡೆ ರೆಸಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ನಮ್ ಕಡೆ ಅಂತ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಮೀಟರ್ ಲೀಕೇಜಸ್ ಇದ್ರೇನು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ ಸಿಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ 2015 ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ. ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸ್ ಕೌಂಟಿ ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ 77 ಫ್ಲಾಟ್ 3 ಟ್ಯಾಂಕರ್ ನೀರೇ ಇತ್ತು ಅವ್ರದ್ದು. ಮೀಟರ್ ಮುಂಚೆ ಡೈಲಿ ಒಂದು 7 ಟ್ಯಾಂಕರ್ ನೀರು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು ಪರ್ ಡೇ ಒಂದ್ ದಿವಸಕ್ಕೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಮೀಟರಿಂಗ್ ಆಗಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು 2-3 ಮಂತ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅವ್ರ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ನಾವು ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದೀವಿ. ಡೈಲಿ 3-4 ಟ್ಯಾಂಕರ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ. ಅದು ಒಂದು. ಮತ್ತೆ ITBL ಕಡೆನೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ 34 ಫ್ಲಾಟ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಕಾವೇರಿ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಟ್ಯಾಂಕರ್ ನೀರು 2 ಇತ್ತು. ಅವರು ನಂಗೆ ಹೇಳೋರು 60% ಅಂತ ಸೇವ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋರೆ. ನಮಸ್ತೆ.
Hi, my name is Abhilash. I am one of the founders of VGOT Utility Solutions. At VGOT, we have set out to solve one of the world's largest problems, water scarcity. And when you think about this as a problem, there are only 2 ways you can go about solving for this. A, increase the supply, or B, reduce the demand. And this is exactly where we focus our energy on with our IoT-based water management platform, VGOT Aqua. Our solution helps buildings reduce their demand by up to 50%. Now, the premise behind building this solution is twofold. A, if you start paying for something, you automatically become more conscious and therefore you reduce demand. B, there is a complete lack of data around water. And this presents us with a huge opportunity to help enterprises and other buildings, residential or commercial, reduce their water demand. Like any other IoT solution, our solution also comprises of 2 components, a hardware piece that collects data and a software layer which takes data from the hardware and gives you real-time insights to make real-time decisions. The hardware piece is something that we have built from scratch and have innovated on. We have built an ultrasonic sensor, which is state-of-the-art and overcomes all the challenges of a traditional water meter, which is fraught with data accuracy issues. We now are able to give you the cleanest possible data. To put this in perspective, it is over 98% accuracy at a 1-drop level. And this has been certified by FCRI, which is the government agency that certifies accuracy in devices. We now take this is the cleanest possible data you will get. We take this and we put this in the hands of our users. We have 2 user interfaces, a mobile application and a desktop application. And between these 2 user interfaces, we address all 3 of our stakeholders. A, the person consuming the water, B, the person managing the facility, and C, key decision makers who need this data to make better decisions. We have also innovated on the business model. We have turned traditional water metering into water management as a service, where we only charge for the setup of the solution, and then we charge a monthly subscription. We have also deployed a solution in over 30,000 apartments. We manage more than 40 million square feet of commercial real estate. And the impact that our solution has created so far is that we have saved more than 3 billion liters of water. We are in our 6th year of operations, and we realize that water scarcity is not a local problem. It truly is a global problem. And with your support, we would be able to make this the de facto solution that helps people and buildings become more conscious and save this valuable resource.
A big thank you to our service providers. We'll now quickly move on to our Q&A session. I call upon Mr. Avinash Krishnamurthy, Director and Project Manager, Biome Environmental Trust, who will be moderating this segment. Avinash.
Thank you, Sandhya. Thank you very much. There's been a range of questions I've been looking at as they kind of tried to prioritize the questions based on the topic they are referring to. First priority going to the topics related to what we are speaking about today, which is water demand management. So I think first I would like to address the question to Prasanna. If Prasanna, there was one very interesting question. Clearly, you know, the self-help groups, etc., that you spoke about has got people thinking and asking, how is it that I can become a part of these self-help groups or Telegram groups or WhatsApp groups to seek my answers? So if you can just share how people can participate in that, that would be great.
Oh, sure. Any of our BAF member community members from any apartment complex can be members of these groups, various groups, like I said, whether it's water, electricity, EV, or rooftop solar, or whatever. Various subjects are there, STP, and so on and so forth. And of course, we even had the voter registration and so many other groups. They can join. Anybody. It's open for all our members.
How do, if you can say, how do apartments become a part of BAF, etc.? Maybe some people, these may be also coming from people who are living in individual households and are not part of an apartment, right? In that case, can they also become part of these groups to seek these answers?
There are, we have actually have left a few of these things open for others also to benefit, to be part of the groups. But sure, yes, if they're genuinely interested and want to know, what's happening. Right now, we have not restricted as yet, but apparently there are certain more, deeper subjects and knowledge that's on our knowledge base on which needs a login. But otherwise, yes, please do communicate to us. Sandhya is on the panel here, and myself. And I'll share my email ID, and then we can take it from there.
Sure. So Sandhya, I think you can share the Prasanna's email ID with everybody who've registered. We'll move on to the question. Next question then. Sandhya?
Sure. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So the next set of questions, there are 2-3 questions all related to water meters, and while it's which water meter do I choose, etc. I think the overriding question behind it is how do you go around selecting water meters, especially smart meters? So I would like to, if Shamir, Shamir spoke about a long process decided on the water meters for his apartment. So Shamir, if you can just share your experience and explain on the different criteria you looked at to select the water meters, that would be great.
Sure, Avinash. So basically, the idea of implementing water meter is to conserve, right? To provide the data to the users and promote conservation. So to get the data to the users in real time, we need to go for IoT meters, smart IoT meters, because the analog meters, it is not feasible enough to get the data in real time. So basically, if I don't know like how much I'm using for different purpose, I will not have much clue on how to conserve it, right? In our apartment itself, like I was promoting water meter, and to be honest, like when water meter was implemented, I was surprised to see like I was using 700 liters, 600 to 700 liters per day. So this data was available to me, and then I reduced it to like 300 to 400, or even like less than 300 liters per day. So this data to be available, you need to go for smart IoT meters. And today, like there are a lot of service providers. We got Spoke here. Wateron is there. Wateron is the one we implemented, and there are like a lot of new service providers coming up in that space. So that is one aspect. And another thing is the plumbing changes required. So these smart IoT meters, actually, they can be installed remotely. So without much changes or into your plumbing system. But what I have found is like it's better to redo the entire plumbing system and just have 1 meter which is kept in the terrace or somewhere which is accessible, rather than putting the meters at every inlet point. So yeah, to my understanding and opinion, it's better to redo the entire plumbing if your building is like 5 to 10 years old. Then of course your infrastructure would have started deteriorating. So you can go ahead with the plumbing layout change and go ahead with smart IoT meters.
Shamir, just to add, Rakshita from our team had presented about the bangalore.urbanwaters.in. There is a helpful contact section in that website. Service providers of different kinds are all listed there. So you can use that to reach out to them. If you all know anybody who is not listed there and you'll have had a good experience, please reach out to us at water@biomesolutions.com, biome-solutions.com, and let us know. We will put that back, put those new names also on that directory. We'll just also move on to the next question now. There are a few questions for BWSSB, a couple of questions for BWSSB. I'll just move on to those questions. So the first question, sir, is Manjunath sir, is if the STP, if a residential apartment complex has an STP, has its own STP, will the same domestic rates be applicable as others? So it's a question on the tariff. This is from Mr. Mani Ranjan. If you can just question, there's one more to answer on that, sir.
Yeah, very good question. BWSSB water bill consisting of water charges along with sanitary cess and also the meter rent, out of which the apartments or the big units is having STP of their own. They should not connect their sewer network to BWSSB network, sewer network. If that is the case, sewer cess in the water bill will be removed. Normal sewer cess will be 25% of the water bill we are going to impose on each of the consumer. But if STP is there and they are not connected to our system network, that 25% of sanitary cess will be waived off. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. There's one more question, one very interesting question, which, to be honest, is the first time I'm coming across in Bangalore. Is there some rule on illegal suction pumps that some households or apartments use from the BWSSB pipes, I'm assuming? Is there a rule like that? What is the penalty for violators?
Sir, this is the common practices some people adopt in slum areas, wherein their pressure will be little less, and they are using the pumps each individual, if any complaint is there against the use of the sumps, BWSSB will have the authority to take away that pump from their location and to keep it in BWSSB custody. That is the rule, sir. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So there are some other questions, but I just want to check with the moderators, Sandhya and Srinivas, on the time that we are running. Do we have time for a couple of more questions that we can deal with, or is it too? Is it time to close the
yeah,
thing, Sandhya? Yeah.
Let's take one or two questions at least.
Thanks, Sandhya. Okay, there's one more question to BWSSB. It says, does BWSSB have any plans to harvest stormwater from the stormwater drains? It should ideally be directed to BBMP, but I would like BWSSB actually to response from that from BWSSB.
Sir, the question itself is having the answer. So BWSSB scope is only to provide you the sewage network and drinking water facility. BBMP is also taken up a lot of projects to do the rainwater harvesting at the SWD along with the lake. So this question should be answered by them. Okay. So yourself has given the answer in the question, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good to hear it from you. Actually, this is a good question to move on to. I mean, now I think the next two questions that one covers is little more, slightly not necessarily specific to demand management. Shweta had made the comment that if we talk about water conservation and water management in nature, everything is very interdependent. And so why do we speak only about pipes and waters and water meters? Why aren't we talking about greenery and etc.? So just as a point, one has pointed out, yes, that's completely true. There is a discourse around the interdisciplinary nature of things and how we need to communicate, but we do have problems of inter-institutional coordination. So I just want to take a break and check if any of panelists here want to say anything at all about this issue, where Shweta is raising this question, looking at the issue of water demand management and conservation as beyond just about us using water and bringing the greenery, urban planning, the way we build roads, everything into it. Anything for any of the panelists to say anything? Okay, I assume there are more answers, but Shweta, as I said, this is it's very much there in the debate, and we do have the problem of working in silos. Do engage with civil society to get more answers, offline. The other interesting question, and I would like to direct this to my colleagues in Biome, Rakshita, who's been going and documenting all sorts of open wells in the city. The question is, if we do recharge of the shallow aquifer, that is recharge through wells, in Bangalore, will it benefit? Because isn't the shallow aquifer saturated? That's the question. Should we be doing deeper aquifer recharge? That was the question. Rakshita, would you like to take that? Rakshita, are you there? Rakshita, if you're not there, Srinivas, would you like to?
Yes, Avinash. So I can take that question. That is a very interesting question because we do see that there are specific areas in Bangalore where, like you said, the shallow aquifer is saturated, the groundwater is saturated. But there are two aspects to it that I want to bring here. that at the places where there is saturation and groundwater level is available, why are we not using that resource, right? Instead of depending on the BWSSB supply. So if we are able to dig more wells, right, from and extract water from the shallow aquifer itself, that itself will go a long way in reducing our dependency on the Kaveri water. So that is one point that I would like to bring to everybody's attention. The other thing to also note is that Bangalore's topography is not very uniform, in the sense that at least at the peripheral areas, we in the eastern sections, for example, right, where we have seen tremendous growth in the last few years, we see that the water table level has reduced because the bore wells have been extracting and tanker waters have been taking that, and especially during summer, we see that crunch coming in. So those are places where we can definitely make use of more recharge wells, and that will help recharge the shallow aquifer and also over time the deeper aquifer as well. So I would say there is scope because of this non-uniformity of the topography across Bangalore, and it is definitely beneficial, I feel.
Srinivas, and just add to that, we also believe that Bangalore can look at its shallow aquifer and actually fill it up twice in a year through its rainfall and recharge, and use it as a source of water at the scale of the city, though it'll be different in different places. And we don't think that way. So that, thanks, Srinivas. And I think we've covered all the questions that have come in. Feel free to write in any more questions if it occurs to you all later at to biome-solutions.com. My colleague Uma has put that email ID in the chat box. Also, Prasanna's email ID is there in the chat box for those who want to reach out. That is baf.weg@gmail.com. Please look at the chat box. I think with that, we end the Q&A session, and I'm happily kind of hand it over back to you, Sandhya. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Avinash. I think a topic like water sort of piques a lot of interest. So we budgeted 1 hour, and we are almost 1 hour 45 minutes now. So let us not get misled by the quantum of rainfall we are currently experiencing. If we focus on reducing wastage, we can hope to see a water secure future for Namma city. Remember, Namma Neeru, Namma Javabdari. The buck stops with us. With this, I would like to extend our deepest appreciation to Shri K.N. Rajiv, Chief Engineer, BWSSB, Shri B.M. Manjunath, Public Relation Officer, BWSSB, Shri V.B. Maheshwarappa, Executive Engineer, BWSSB, Mr. Prasanna Vainateya, Vice President, Bangalore Apartment Federation, our citizen champions, Monisha Verma and Shamir. Lastly, to the energetic teams at Biome Environmental Trust and Citizen Matters Bengaluru, who put together this webinar and made the efforts to ensure that the message of conservation reaches to all Bengaluru. Thank you to all our speakers and attendees for joining us today. It was wonderful to co-moderate and have multiple takeaways from both the speakers and the audience. We'll be having more such sessions on the theme of water in the coming months.